Okay, looks like we're live. Yo, what is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man, Lincoln Clay, coming back at you with a live stream. And today, I want to talk about recent events over the past couple of days. And let's see here. I'm doing some laundry right now, so I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone. So as the title suggests, I want to talk about the Blaston devs walking back this beta test, so to speak, on putting ads in their game. Facebook has disabled direct streaming, and I have other thoughts. In particular, thoughts on my good friend Ham made a post on Twitter about the HP Reverb on sale for $400 at Walmart. So I think we can get right into it. See here, Sony expects PS5 sales to skyrocket once demands are met. I think they're expecting 22 to sell 22 million a year. I thought I posted about the HP Reverb being on sale. So give me a second. Let me find it. Go to Upload VR. See if it's still there. There we go. HP Reverb is $200 off at Walmart. What happened to $300? Oh, $300. Okay. Let's start with that. Share screen. Chrome tab, HP Reverb, and share. So HP Reverb G2 is $200 off at Walmart, which I thought it was $300 because I thought the headset retailed for $700. It appears it retails for $600. We don't know how long it will last, but the HP Reverb G2 is $200 off on Walmart.com right now. You can find a discounted headset here with it priced at $399 at the time of this writing. The system typically sells for $599, so that's a $200 discount for an incredible display, razor sharp audio, and cozy design. As we wrote in our review late last year, the track controllers aren't great, but the visuals, which include physical lens distance adjustment, IPD adjustment, combined with the super high quality off-ear valve audio solution, delivers a really solid experience that's also far easier to set up than solutions like Valve Index. Reverb G2 runs on Microsoft Windows Mixed Reality platform, which in turn connects to most Steam VR games just fine. You'll likely want a high-end GPU on your PC to drive the 2160 by 2160 display, and given its high resolution and easy setup, the Reverb G2 might be the perfect fit for simulation game enthusiasts out there. You can check out Jamie Felfin's full thoughts on the headset in this video review embedded below. Okay, so I don't know. Naturally, the headset, at least at Walmart, probably isn't moving. So, and I wondered how much was that due to the Oculus Quest, because the Oculus Quest, at least up until recently, had been selling. While everything was, I wouldn't say locked down, but while social distancing and mask and all that stuff was still in effect and being advised not to go anywhere unless you have to. sales of video games and hardware have skyrocketed, and I think the Oculus Quest was able to profit from that, benefit from that, and which in turn might have hurt G2 sales, because it is a native PC headset. It's $600. You're going to need a high-end PC to run that, whereas the Oculus Quest, as you know, retails for $300. It is a standalone headset that can also be used as a PC headset. Probably a great tantrum. This Reverb G2 is going for $400 US. If you're in the UK, I don't know what that translates to in terms of pounds or quid, but one of the reasons why I wanted to touch on that, I just at a time when PlayStations are hard to find, and even though the Xbox Series X isn't in near as much demand as the PS5, it was still selling no less. We know the Oculus Quest 2 was selling. I mean, hell, even at one point, Oculus was selling refurbished Oculus Rift S. So some headsets have definitely been moving, but I think now that things are starting to open up, P-Tiz, what's up? I think now that things are starting to open up, I think even Oculus Quest sales are starting to slow down, because this is what I'm seeing with my own two eyes. Normally, I would go into Target or Walmart and I would see Oculus Quest in the case, anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe 6 units inside the display case, and I would come back maybe 3-4 days later, and they'd be gone. So, but hey, that's great that it's $400, but I will pass because of a couple of reasons. The tracking isn't that great, as they just said on the article that I just read, and with the headset only having 2 cameras, I don't have much faith in the tracking anyway, and the sweet spot is very, very small. This was confirmed by Ham VR, my good friend. He said the sweet spot is clear, it's crystal clear, but it's a very small sweet spot, and the peripherals are somewhat blurry. That being said, that's just not for me. And not only that, I mean, the more I think about it, the more I'm excited about getting a deck of gear. Pre-orders are sold out, so I ended up getting on a waiting list. I just simply submitted my email, and that put me on a waiting list. The deck of gear is expected to ship. Is $500 on my Walmart? Here, let me. You know what? Let me go to Twitter and show you the exact link that Ham sent me. Oh yeah, you're right. It is $500 because I'm seeing it here too. The tiny area of clarity is just the extreme center. Why I returned my G2, and is why I'm probably going to cancel my Vive Pro 2 order tomorrow. I'm going with the deck of gear. I mean, as you know, naturally, I've got a Quest 2. I've got 2 Quest 2s, the original Quest 1 and Rift S and PSVR. Well, lately it's been happening to both me and my son that our Quest 2s have been disconnecting on our PCs, and it's been happening rather frequently. So my son's fed up with it. You said $399 for Quest 2. That's probably for the 264 for the 264 gig Quest. The 64 gig Quest retails for $299. So if you see somewhere where a 69 gig Quest is retailing for $399, it must be third party or a scalper. So my son, was telling me that he's fed up with the Oculus Quest disconnecting, and he was frustrated so much to the point that he even went back to my Rift S this past weekend, and I think he's going to go back to using his own Rift S. But he said he wants the Deca gear, so I looked into it. Oh, you said that was a 256 gig version? Yeah, that's what I figured. So we looked into it, and so yeah, both my son and I are going to go ahead and get the Deca gear. So VTiz, I'm currently using an index. Yeah, I remember VTiz. If I remember correctly, for those who pre-ordered Half-Life Alyx, they gave everybody with a Valve index like access to different rooms, different VR rooms related to the game, and you invited me in there to take a look at some of the Half-Life Alyx scenes, maps, rooms, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, definitely. You said I'm currently using an index. The resolution is much less than the G2 and the Vive Pro, but I would much rather take that in a large area of equal clarity than ultra high resolutions. I like both though. Let's see, that Deca gear is supposed to be 2160 by 2160, so it's supposed to be full 4K with 114 degrees of FOV. So in addition to, it sounds to me like the Deca gear has a total of 6 cameras, 4 outside and 2 inside, that tracks eyes and facial movements. So you'll be able to make facial expressions and people will be able to see it. And 2 of the games already confirmed to support it is Pavlov and VR Chat. VTiz, I didn't pre-order. Only got it this year. Long-term Rift CV1 user before then. Yeah, I had a CV1, but I sent it to Big Cloud Gaming. I was, because I had got my hands on a Rift S and I was more than happy with it. So for me, the only problem with the Rift S is that it pushes on my cheekbone, and the FOV is much more noticeable than my PSVR. PSVR FOV seems bigger, possibly, but I still love my Rift S. I mean, the Rift S has been reliable for me. VTiz, since using the G2, the size of the area of clarity, some call it the sweet spot, has become my #1 priority for HMD purposes. Absolutely. Because the bigger the sweet spot, the better. Because I think it's a given that the peripherals is not going to be as focused, if not blurry. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to the next subject. And this is the big one. Let's here, go back. Let's see here. Okay, so let me share my screen again and talk about this Blaston situation. Okay, Blaston reverses course on testing in-game Facebook ads after community backlash. So let's read it and then let's go back and talk about it. Blaston, the VR dueling shooter from Resolution Games, was the subject of a controversy within the VR community after agreeing to test a new in-game ad system for Facebook. The company says it has decided not to go forward with testing ads in Blaston, but may do so with its free VR fishing game Bait in the future. Last week, Oculus announced that it would begin testing a Facebook advertising system inside select VR games. VR Studio Resolution Games and a couple other developers were said to be participating in the pilot of the system. Blaston was the only title specifically named in the announcement, and Oculus used the game to show examples of how ads might appear inside of VR games. That made Blaston the center of discussion amongst members of the games community and VR community at large, which understandably would rather not see advertising in their games. Part of the contention is that Blaston is a paid game, which some feel means the game shouldn't run ads. If anything, some said in-game advertising should be limited to free games. Today, Resolution Games backtracked on its decision to test the Facebook ad system following the community backlash. After listening to player feedback, we realized that Blaston isn't the best fit for this type of advertising test. Therefore, we no longer plan to implement the test, the studio wrote on Twitter. But Resolution Games hasn't backed away from the idea entirely. A follow-up tweet posted 3 hours later said, to make it clear, we realized that Blaston isn't the best fit for this type of advertising test. As an alternative, we are looking to see if it is feasible to move this small temporary test to our free game bait sometime in the future. The debacle came at a bad time for Resolution Games, as the studio just today released an update for Blaston, which added new content to the game, content which the studio might have hoped would pay itself back over time from in-game ads. So I don't think I need to read any further. You guys get the message. So this goes back to what I was saying when I first talked about this, that ads in games, I think, was going to put both content creators and developers in a position where they were going to have to choose sides. I think any YouTuber or any dev for that matter that acts like they wouldn't be affected in one way or another, for better or for worse, with games having ads, is being disingenuous. So Tantrum, you said it's nothing new that we see ads in video games. I'm not sure what is such a big deal. I see ads on billboards in my racing games, for example. Yeah. Now, see, that's a little bit different, because actually, in my opinion, in racing games, you need ads because it makes it look more accurate, more authentic, and more immersive. And I've talked about it before. Take Automobile Lister 2, for instance. When that game first launched, all the tracks were accurate, but all the billboards didn't have any advertisements on them. They all said Reason, which is the name of the developer. But I knew the ads were going to come in time. You know, as soon as they get all the licensing and all that stuff squared away, you're probably going to start seeing advertisements on the billboards, on the overpasses, and that kind of thing on the game. You need that because that, like I said, that adds to the accuracy. It adds to the realism and immersion. Now, in the case of Blasted, let me scroll back down and show you this again. That is what they had in mind. That right there, I think. So it looks like you're inside this small combat area. And on the boundaries of this combat area, you see the advertisement right there. I guess it's subjective whether or not you find it intrusive, but I can definitely see where something like this would be distracting. And I think in a game like Blasting, which I think is a player versus player game, you get caught being distracted by that ad, you could easily get shot, killed, beat up, whatever the premise of the game is. So in that aspect, I'm not so sure about that. If it was a free game, fine. In fact, maybe a game like Echo VR, I would welcome ads if they lined them along the walls. Enough that you see them, but not overpowering. So, Tantrum, you said in some situations the ads add realism, but it depends on the content. I mean, I hate to see an ad for KFC on some wall somewhere in Star Wars, exactly. But in a racing game, that's fine because the billboards are supposed to have ads on them. I mean, advertising dollars is a huge part of racing. I mean, racing cars are covered with advertising. So, but something like that, again, something like this picture that we're looking at, that could be distracting. So now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because, again, I think it puts content creators and devs in a situation where they have to choose a side, because at the end of the day, the customer is the most important part of this chain. YouTubers are trying to appeal to viewers. Devs are trying to get customer dollars. And both YouTubers and devs can be affected by this if they get backlash from ads or supporting ads. Image and ad for real estate marketing in a shooter. It depends. If it's a shooter where you're in the city, like maybe it's a downtown map, like contractors, the downtown map and contractors. If there's like ads on the side of a building or something, that would be fine, because you see that in real life. So, but how does this affect devs? We'll start with the devs. You saw what happened with Blaston. They were going to try to put the ads in there. It was met with backlash. They were getting 1-star ratings at the Oculus store, and they pulled them. So, because if they would have followed through with that, it could have greatly affected sales. How does it affect YouTubers? It affects YouTubers that are like me, for instance. Somebody like me that's reaching out to devs asking for review keys. Now, if I go off and get a key for a game that's got ads in it, I would be caught in a more precarious position than the devs, because if I go give the game a bad review and it's like, this was a great game until I saw the ads. So instead of giving it an 8, I'm giving this game a 4 because it's got ads in it. That could possibly get me blacklisted with devs. But on the other hand, if I say nothing about the ads and I say I recommend this game and people go off and buy the game and then find out that it has ads in it, then my content, my comment section on that particular stream might be filled with backlash saying that this game is trash. You didn't tell us it had ads in it, that kind of stuff. So that's what I meant when I was trying to tell people that this situation, the here, the now of it, is going to force devs and YouTubers to pick a side. I was supposed to do this stream yesterday, but I was sitting here and thinking. And I was like, am I overthinking this? Am I overreacting this? Am I making a mountain out of a molehill? Because I seem to be the only VR content creator that I know of that's taking the approach that I have. I think the only other YouTuber that might have been pretty vocal how he felt about it was I just seen a video from Steve Knows a little while ago. He felt like that was a big victory for the consumer that the Blaston devs removed the ad. Everybody else that talked about it to me were I felt like they were kind of downplaying it. And some YouTubers said they think that the average person won't be bothered by it. I don't know if I can agree with that. I mean, if they're in the middle of a first-person shooter game and an ad pops up in the upper right-hand corner, it's going to be distracting. They get shot because they were caught looking away. They're probably not going to be too happy about it. So I don't think that the average person, I don't know if I could agree with that with that assertion that the average person probably won't care. That's what this particular YouTuber said, that they think the average person won't care. I don't know if I agree with that. But I will say this, ads, with them trying to push this agenda of putting ads in games, this is that DRM moment that the Xbox had. They were met with serious backlash when they introduced DRM, so much to the point that the Xbox had to get a day one update to remove the DRM. But they still put it in anyway. They just kept their mouth shut about it. They just slowly worked the DRMs in. And now we're at a point where it's in full swing. It's just nobody outright saying anything about it. So with that being said, I do think that Facebook definitely is not giving up on this idea about putting ads in games. I think they're still trying to cook up a scheme of how they're going to be able to do this and minimize the backlash, or try to eliminate the backlash altogether. So this ain't going away. This is going to come back up again. So that being said, in the short term, for somebody like myself, I would, as somebody who's trying to establish a relationship with devs, I'm not so sure that I would do a review or first impressions on a game that I know has ads in it, because whichever direction I swing in is not going to be good. Because again, if I say, hey, this game's got ads in it, and not cool, whatever, then that's not going to look good in the eyes of the devs. If I don't say anything about it and just act like the devs aren't there, then I could get backlash from my viewers. So in the short term, the right now, again, both devs and YouTubers will be affected by this. I think it's possible that we could reach a point where they find a way to work these ads in where it's not distractive, it's not intrusive, and maybe everybody will be happy. But right now, that right there, what we're looking at, where the barrier of that combat area has a very distracting look ad on there. I don't think that's gonna work. Tantrum. The good thing about ads is that it may bring costs down. Modern TVs would be so much more expensive had they had no ad programs for movies, etc., and the softwares like Android or whatever. I'm not so sure it brings costs down, because everything still costs what it costs. It's just I think with technology, especially with TVs, technology moves so fast that a TV that might cost $2,000 now could easily be half that in about 3 years. Matter of fact, I had forgot to say that don't be surprised if Sony was looking at this situation, because if I'm not mistaken, a few months ago, it was revealed that they filed a patent that would allow them to put ads in games. So I'm sure Sony was looking at this situation, because if memory serves me correct, I think when I first heard about Sony filing this patent to put ads in their game, the first thing that popped in my head is, if they're going to do it on flat screen, they'll do it on VR games as well. Space Dennison, what's up? So that's where I sit on that. Tantrum, at the end of the day, the people, as usual, will vote with their wallet. If a game has distracting ads, people will not like it. And if people see ads that target them. Yeah. So, again, right now, the here and now, I mean, the consumer's still holding all the cards, especially with, even though VR is just dipping its toes into the mainstream, it's still niche. So they know they are being watched. Yeah. So ads should have debuted it in Facebook's own free game Echo. Yeah, it's funny that you say that, Space Dennison, because I just said that right before you came in here, that I said a game like Echo VR, I think it would add a little more spice to the arena if they did put ads on the wall. Because as it stands right now, you have this this arena that looks like something right out of the movie Tron, with a bunch of geometric obstacles floating, all over the arena. So I think it would definitely add a little spice to the arena. But something like this picture that I have displayed here, I don't know if I can get behind that, because something like that I can find something like that distracting. You said common sense minds think alike. Yeah, definitely. So I think I'm ready to go on to the final subject, and then go grab my clothes out of the dryer. This should be done here pretty soon. So ads free, pay a fee. That's been that idea has been kicked around too by a few YouTubers, that maybe if a game costs $15, maybe charge $17 for the game to run without ads. I think that would work for single player games. For multiplayer games, I'm not so sure. I think another way that they could put ads in a game where they could get their point across without disrupting the flow of the game is maybe someone sees an ad during a loading screen. I would be okay with that, as long as once the game resumes, that ad disappears. I don't want to see something where an ad pops up and then I have to reach up and close that particular ad in order to resume my game. So, all right, let's go on to the final subject. Share the screen. Okay, this is interesting. This is sort of a head scratcher. I have my possible beliefs why they did this, but some people might think I'm crazy. But let's go ahead and read. Facebook removes live streaming feature from Quest in version 30 update. Facebook removed the ability to live stream your Quest directly to your Facebook profile in version 30 update of the Quest system software. Facebook confirmed to Upload VR that the feature is no longer available as of V30. The feature allowed you to stream a video feed of your Quest headset activity directly to your profile on Facebook, which friends and family could interact with like any other Facebook stream. The feature also supported the Quest microphone, allowing you to live stream the headset's mic feed in the video feed. Quest users could also read and respond to comments on the live stream while in VR via an overlay. In a statement to Upload VR, Facebook confirmed the feature had been removed and said it is always working to evolve and improve the ways for people to create and share content from Quest headsets. The company recently updated its tools for local broadcasts. Here's the rest of the statement from Facebook. So it says, we heard from the community that casting to friends and family who are in the same place was the most important form of sharing their VR experience and was more commonly used than live streaming to a broader public audience. That's why we're doubling down on improving our casting tools that help people share in new ways. For instance, We recently rolled out the live overlay feature that lets people superimpose themselves over a view of what they are seeing in VR while casting. In addition, people can still stream from the Quest to any other social site or other destination using our Cast to Web feature, which mirrors your VR to your computer paired with streaming software. This is a method we expect to be especially useful for content creators and streamers. Stay tuned for more improvements to our casting and sharing features in the coming months. It says, besides removing the live streaming feature, the Quest V30 update added support for microphone swapping between party chat and game chat alongside multitasking support as part of the Infinite Office feature set. Well, to get straight down to what I think they might do, I'm not saying this is the reason why they did it, but I think this is what could possibly happen in the future. I think that maybe it's possible that Facebook lets the Oculus Quest stream directly to YouTube or Twitch. It's been there before, so to speak. The game Poker Stars VR, that game had in the menus, it allowed you to stream directly to Twitch from the headset, and it was removed. Now, the reason why I say I think it's possible that they could allow you to stream directly to YouTube and Twitch. Number one, a lot of YouTubers have been asking for it. We've been screaming about this forever. And I've even said it myself. And I mean, the way I put it, it was like, help us, help you. Because I think when it comes to gaming, I think as far as watching gameplay streams, I think gaming has a stronger presence on YouTube than it does on Facebook. I could be wrong. I don't have any data to back that up. That's just an observation. I think when people go to Facebook, I think it's a lot of times it's, for what it is. It is a pure social media app, whereas YouTube, I think, is more of an entertainment app. YouTube is basically today's form of cable TV. A lot of people go to YouTube to watch a variety of things, and I don't think people do that with Facebook. I don't think they go there looking to see streams from content creators. I don't think they go there looking to see podcasts and what have you. I think they go to YouTube for that. So I think gaming from an entertainment and viewing standpoint is more prominent on YouTube and on Twitch. And then the big thing that really made me think that they might possibly go this route is the recent update that they had a couple of weeks ago because of the mic swapping feature. They added a mic swapping feature that lets you switch back and forth. It was an update from a couple of weeks ago. This allowed people to use the mic within the headset for casting rather than using an external mic, which I'm sure Facebook knows that people were using external mics for streaming, me being one of them. Whenever I would stream to Facebook, I keep wanting to say Facebook. Whenever I would stream to YouTube, the mic on the headset didn't work. So I would always have to use an external mic. And sometimes that caused the stream to get out of sync where the sound and the video didn't match up. And so even though this new feature was supposed to allow you to have the option to use the headset's mic, it still didn't work for me. I still haven't been able to get it to work. But my point is that why would you give users the option to use the in-game, the headset mic, if they don't want to use an external mic? And not only that, when they first gave you that option, actually, what happened was, I think BMF did a video where he was showing that when you use the in-game mic and you use an external mic, both of them will still work simultaneously. So you would have an echo or sound, or audio that was slightly out of sync or slightly overlapping each other. And then Facebook, right after that, came back with an update that allowed you to use one of the others, So why would you do something like that and then kill streaming altogether on Facebook? To me, it seemed like a lot to go through to implement this feature, only to kill one of the biggest reasons to use that feature. So I don't know. I think that might be a possibility where they allow you to stream directly to YouTube or Twitch. But part of that is wishful thinking on my part, because it's really, I think it's a little bit of a headache, because whenever I stream to YouTube from the Quest standalone, I have to cast the headset to a casting app, and then that casting app, I have to input it into OBS as a source. And then I have to use an external microphone. And again, all that can get out of sync. But even still, even when it works properly, I have no way of seeing comments, and I have no way of hearing text to speech. So whenever I stream directly from the Twitch, from the Quest, it's always a situation where I have to lift the headset up every few seconds and check the monitor on the computer to see if any comments came through. So if they did allow the ability to stream directly to YouTube, I would definitely love that. And I'm sure I speak for just about every YouTuber that would love that too. So, and there you have it. I think that's about all I got. I can do a quick once over on my latest Twitter post and see if anything else is worth talking about real quick. No, I'm not really seeing anything else. I don't really see anything else that grabs my attention. So with that being said, I think I can go ahead and wrap it up. Doesn't feel like I've been on very long. Been on about 45 minutes, but it doesn't feel like it. So I think it was a good podcast. Also, before I go ahead and take off, I will say that I'm still debating about whether to come back and do podcasts on a regular basis now. Every day when I'm at work, I'm listening to YouTube podcasts. I use Twitter to help push my channel, to push VR in general. So there's always news breaking at any given moment. And when I'm at work, and I hear breaking news or at any given moment, something might pop up into my head, and I'm like, that would be a good topic to have a podcast for. And then once I get home, I'm like, nah, I don't think people are interested in that. Or I think it might be a situation where I might spend too much time talking about it. But it looks like some of these bigger VR shows are starting to drop off. I mean, it looks like over the past few months, a couple of VR shows have stopped or taken an indefinite break. So with that, I think the time might be right for me to look into coming back and doing streams, podcasts on a regular basis. The plan was to wait until Sony reveals the PlayStation 2 PlayStation VR 2 headset, and then from there bring back Live from Wakanda, because once news for PSVR 2 gets into full swing, then there'll be a lot of content to talk about, because right now in the VR landscape, as far as news goes, it can be dry for a couple of weeks, and then we get an avalanche of news, and then it goes dry again. So the news isn't consistent. I think a lot of these games, unless it's a highly anticipated game, I don't really post too much about an upcoming game, because there's so many games out there that it's kind of, I don't know. I guess like maybe case in point, as far as upcoming games goes, Sniper Elite is one of the games. At first, I wasn't interested in it. Now I am. Now I am going to go ahead and get it. So something like that is something that, yeah, I would have posted news on, like, hey, the game's going to release on this date. This is this. This is that. Are you waiting for Silent Hill? Just got here. I've never played a Silent Hill, True Virgil, and truthfully, the only way I'd probably play a Silent Hill game is through VR. So, so I guess everybody getting hyped about the Silent Hill game. That's kind of like a totally different area for me. I've never played it, and it's only a handful of flat screen games that kind of get my attention. So, I mean, I just finished Ratchet and Clank a few days ago, and I think after that, there's really no flat screen games. The only flat screen game that I might get now that Ratchet and Clank is out of the way is that Battlefield 2042. I might get that. But other than that, there's really no flat screen games on my radar. Now, VR games is several games on my radar. Sniper Elite being one of them, Lone Echo 2 being another one. After the Fall, 1 minute I wanted it, the next minute I'm not so sure, because there's a game called Survive, and it's spelled with a number 1 and a number 3 at the end of it. The game is called Survive, and it looks like the spitting image of After the Fall. You know what? Let me show it to you guys. Okay. Let's see, can you guys still see this? This game right here looks like the spitting image of After the Fall. This game is also 4-player co-op, as you just saw right there. And it has a campaign. And it has blood and gore, just like After the Fall. And it's got decent graphics. And looks like it's also got some of the Saints and Sinners type physics to it. So this game right here retails on Steam for $25. Ham spoke to me about, should we stream this game or not? And after the fall, that's coming to us from the same developers of Arizona Sunshine. Now, that's something to take note of because Arizona Sunshine, in my opinion, I felt for the longest time, it was a very overrated game, more or less because of its price. The game was $40 for the longest, but did not look like it was worth $40 to me. So they stuck to that $40 price tag for quite a while. So with that, I have no reason, or I have every reason to believe that After the Fall will also be priced at $40. It looks like a more polished game than Arizona Sunshine with better graphics, more blood and gore. So I have every reason to believe that this game is going to be $40 and it's going to be priced like that for the longest. Based on what I've seen from this game Survive and After the Fall, the only advantage that After the Fall is going to have over this game is crossplay between PlayStation VR, Quest, and PC. This game right here doesn't show anything about it coming to PlayStation VR. So two games that look identical. One is $25. The other one presumably is going to be $40. So you do the math. And, I highly doubt with After the Fall, this is a highly anticipated game. I could take a chance and reach out to the dev and ask them for a key, but I highly doubt that I'll get one. Let's see here. I'll get to you right here in a second. Let me see. True Virgil, my source from the 7-Eleven bathroom told me Silent Hill is coming to VR. I had to get him peak satisfaction for this info. Oh, God. And you said I'm an Xbox guy, by the way. Yeah, all right. Miss Space Dennison, you said, Arizona Sunshine is so overpriced. I wouldn't be surprised if After the Fall is $60 damn. I don't think they'll go that high. I mean, if they price it at $60, it definitely won't be $60 on the Quest because as of right now, there is no game on the Quest that I know of that costs $60 or more. And that would be kind of lopsided to make the Quest version $40 and make the PC and the PSVR version $60. So I think it's going to be $40 across the board. Where the point that I'm trying to make in all this is knowing how they operated with Arizona Sunshine, I think After the Fall could turn out to be absolute trash and they still won't lower that price. They're going to, whatever price they set it at, they're going to stay with it. Oh, excuse me. So, yep, now we're coming up on the 1 hour mark. So, yeah, I think it's about time for me to go ahead and hang it up. Moving forward, yeah, I want to do podcasts. I want to get back to streaming on a regular basis now. As of right now, I'm not going to set a day and I'm not going to set a time because a lot of days, while I'm at work, I'm all gun-ho about wanting to have a podcast. And then when I get home, it's like, I don't feel like it. Or nah, I don't think that's a good subject. I don't, whatever. I keep making excuses not to do it. But yeah, I want to get back to doing podcasts. Besides, after looking at some of the analytics, it appears that podcasts as well as streams of App Lab games seem to be my most views. Excuse me. Which I'm definitely going to continue to do that and go through App Labs and side quests and look for games to stream, because I think basically games that people haven't seen tend to get me a decent amount of views, and podcasts, depending on what I'm talking about, will get me a decent amount of views. So but there is one game coming up July 1st called Chess Club, and my good friend Ham VR, he must have gotten a key because he uploaded a video to the game today. So definitely check that out. That's definitely a game that I'm going to get because I grew up off of chess. My father was an excellent chess player. I mean, my father was so good that people was coming from far and wide to challenge him. I mean, dudes would go to jail for 6 months and they come out of jail thinking all of a sudden they're the greatest chess player ever, and they would come try to match wits against my father. So I mean, I have a chess game on PlayStation VR, but you could tell it's a dead game. I think the game was DOA. I took a look at it before, and I was just playing against the AI because it just wasn't anybody to play against, player versus player. So this game comes out July 1st. I'm definitely going to check it out. It's going to retail for $15. I'll probably try to reach out to the dev first and get one, but if I don't get one, then I don't get one. I'm still going to get it regardless. And I plan to play against Ham. So we already decided that we'll do a stream and play some chess. So, and this chess game is pretty cool because the pieces will, do animations. So if you take an opponent's piece, then it will correspond with some kind of animation, whether it's somebody getting slayed or shot, what have you. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And so with that, I'm still dragging on shit. I'm gonna go ahead and boogie on out of here and get this laundry done and stretch out and watch some YouTube videos. With that being said, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Thursday. I don't think I have anything planned for tomorrow. Definitely make sure you check us out on Friday for ACC Friday. I go back and forth streaming it between YouTube and Twitch. So just make sure you follow me on Twitch. And follow me on Twitch. So if I don't stream it on YouTube, you can catch it on Twitch. So that is the final piece that I got dropped. So now I'm definitely gonna get out of here. Definitely want to thank everybody for watching. And if some more big news happens to turn up, then I'll do a podcast on it. Till then, just be ready to catch me Friday for ACC Friday. So with that, I want to thank everybody for watching. Definitely appreciate it. Said I'm into it. Cool. And with that, you guys know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces. We'll catch you later, everybody.